you mentioned you'll tell people what's coming up, what's due, what needs replaced or serviced. How does someone know that you're not just, you know, selling something, that they actually, it is something coming up?
That's a good question. If it's a maintenance item, we can show you right out of the owner's manual. Brake fluid needs to be done every 2 years. Maybe the spark plugs need to be done every 5 years or 100,000 miles, depending on the vehicle. So these are things that have specific time and or mileage intervals, so you can plan for those. Let's say we tell you need a gasket replaced. You don't know. You may not even know what a gasket is. You may not even care what a gasket is. We will do one of two things. We'll show you the car, we'll bring it down, show you the car, or we'll take and send pictures of it for you, because we want people to understand what we're doing and why we're doing it. It's part of our mission statement is to make sure our customers are informed on what their cars need, even if it means we don't do any service work on them. So because we don't put money ahead of people, we want to make sure you're comfortable with what your car needs and why, and understand what we're doing. An informed customer is a customer that asks questions and understands. Most of the time, there's people misunderstand, or they say, well, there's nothing wrong with my car. How could you tell me I need spark plugs? Well, you don't feel spark plugs. You don't have a problem with spark plugs. It's a maintenance item that needs to be done on a regular basis. And that's how we can tell you, hey, this is coming up. This is what you're going to need to do soon.
And there's possible repercussions after the fact that are much worse than if you just replaced them in the first place. Is that right?
All the time. Absolutely all the time, whether it's spark plugs, as they wear out and age, the ignition system has to work harder. So now you're straining the ignition system. So eventually you're going to have a failure there. If it's, let's say, a filter for the air filter for the engine, if you neglect that, the engine has to work harder to breathe. It's going to use more gasoline, could cause sensor failures later on. There's filters that filter the air coming into the cabin of the vehicle. If you ignore those and they get dirty, now the air conditioning blowers have to work harder to blow the air through. So you're stressing other systems on the car for no reason. You're really not saving anybody any money by delaying this needed maintenance.